people you're after are the people you depend on.
Cook your meals and all your trash. You know what this is? My favorite movie is Fight Club. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I've never seen Fight Club.
You're the only person I know that's never seen Fight Club.
I think I've seen snippets of it.
I think people have seen like maybe one or two, a little bit of it, but that's awesome.
Nothing too.
No way. That's a first. That's definitely a first. So, welcome to the Tre07 Pod. This is your host, Correa Joseph, Tre07, brought to you by Fidget McGee, Tre07 Productions, and Love Life Any Level Fitness, which is my boy Mo's Facebook group. He's a fitness instructor. He's a life coach, motivator. I think he's got an event this weekend that he's speaking at for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, his first motivational.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So
That's
putting
cool.
positivity out there.
Yeah.
That's always good. It's a good thing.
So our guest this evening is George Banda. George, I met you at the Evening Muse, right? Charlotte. Shout out to the Evening Muse in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where we're broadcasting from, here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now you're a teacher.
I am. Yes.
An event coordinator, a host, an artist.
Yes.
What else? I think all artists are just a ton of things.
Yeah, I think we wear many masks.
Yeah.
You know, but always keeping it really true to who we are as people. You know.
Yeah.
We're just people. We're people who, you know, like I said, event coordinator. I host and I book. I host my own open mic at the Broken Spoke. Shout out to the Broken Spoke.
Broken Spoke. Broken Spoke?
Yeah, down in Charlotte.
Right.
Wednesday nights, tomorrow night, man. Charlotte, y'all want to come out to a really good mic? You want to share your music? You know, come
It's
on.
It's just any open mic.
Yeah, it's an open mic. You know,
Nice.
we cater to the singer-songwriter groups. You know, we want to make sure that, you know, that there is. I want to make sure, at least, at the very least, that there's a spot for people to come on out to be able to express themselves with their music, through their music, and have a place to come and cut their teeth. I use that.
Cut their teeth.
Come and cut your teeth.
Okay.
At an open mic. You know,
How did you coin that phrase?
Oh, I think isn't that a colloquialism? Like an old one? People
I've never heard it.
Come and cut their
Another
teeth.
first. We haven't even been here 5 minutes. I've never seen Fight Club, and you can come over here and cut your teeth.
You know,
like cutting a rug.
yeah,
you cut your teeth.
You gain experience. You know, you get up there, you do it, you enjoy yourself. We distill our own whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Yeah,
Nice. Broken Spoke.
Broken Spoke.
Where's that located?
That's on Southside Drive, off of Old Pineville, right there by O&B, Queen Park Social, Good Road. Shout out to all those places. Sugar Creek Brewing.
Got it.
Yeah, they're good places right
Awesome.
there. Yeah.
I don't get out much. I get out much, but I don't get out much. Like I make sure I do something once a week, but it's like I don't know. Anyway, but so you got any kids?
I do not.
No. All right. Good job. That's cool. I was kid free for a long time.
Yeah.
I congratulate myself on waiting so long.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Like if you ever get to do it, but you know, it's cool.
Yeah, kids. I mean, I really do. I also play in another shout out. I'm just gonna shout out to venues.
Dude, shout them out.
Hunter,
shout them out.
Hunter House and Garden. It's a beer garden up in Huntersville. Like I was playing there the other night.
Is that on the left-hand side of Old Statesville right there? Yeah.
Good place, man.
Yeah,
Good
I used to
people.
live up that way,
Yeah.
right by Monteith, like the tracks. Yeah.
So
Nice.
I go out there and I play, you know, every now and then, pretty regularly actually, and they're very kid friendly, so they bring a lot of the kiddos out, and it's funny because I make all these friends with all these little ones, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, they sit there and they dance and they, you know, then they laugh and smile, and you know, I just play my guitar and. You know, at the end of the day, I'm thankful for all. I see those little like heads bobbing and like kids dancing. But at the end of the night, they get to go home with their family and I get to go hang out with my friends, and so that's kind of I like that.
Have you ever played for kids, like a party or something?
No. I just, you know,
Not even interested.
I mean, not that I wouldn't do it. It's just, you know, it hasn't come up.
Yeah.
But if it did come up, I'd probably be like,
Yeah. What would you play? I don't know. What do you play normally? What do you like? Do you cover? Do you cover? Or do you play?
I love my originals.
Nice. I heard you play that night.
Yeah. I really love to do my original music.
Cool.
For me, that's. I mean, every artist, you know, you listen to artists, you listen to music, you listen to, and I think it's good to have a wide spectrum of music.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing, as far as me and I am concerned as an artist, is you gotta love your stuff too, and you gotta, it has to be at the forefront of your mind, every place you go, everything that you think about, every chord progression that you come up with. How can I work this into like a song? How can I shape this into one of my ideas, you know,
right,
and take it and go from there. I think it's very important to keep your music. People ask me, who's your favorite artist? Like me.
Nice.
I'm not trying to be narcissistic. I'm just trying to like let people know, like, no, it's important. You know, love yourself, man. Love your music.
I feel that way about competition. As far as my music, recently I've loved my music.
Yeah.
But the progression of it, I loved it in the moment, and then looking back on it, I'm like, I could be better. Cool, you know, like
you'll always critique yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's always the big process. It's always, you know, there's always that self-deprecation sometimes that comes in, or like those negative thoughts that hit you. But at the end of it, I think, just from my perspective, when you go through that process and you see something beautiful at the end of it, you go like, that was crazy hard.
Yeah.
And I didn't like a lot of it, but then you start getting to an end product, and you're like, oh man, that's good. And that's the love right there. That's where the self-love comes in. You're just like, that's cool.
I get so into it during the mixing process.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, because I'll have my headphones on, and if I really, really take the time, like, if I'm in it for like an hour, then I'm deep. Like, I'm almost 3 hours in, and I'm listening to everything. I'm left in, writing, and adjusting the treble, and like, I'm an engineer. I'm not a producer, but I'm still in it. Like, I'm cutting and making silence. I'm making it fade out, making it fade in. Like, that song I just did for the intro. That I'm very proud of that song, actually. It's like my wife helped me come up with the hook. It's just get up, get 'em.
Yeah.
Get up, get 'em.
That's good. See, it's positive, man. That's a good message to put out there.
Yeah.
Get up, get 'em. Come on.
Get up, come on, it's time to get up. It could be anything. It could be like, it's meant to be. It's like a revolutionary track. I see like people marching in the streets, but like one person, me, going through the whole city, and then during the day collecting people, and then by the time I get to the night, I'm like, I got a whole protest. Like, and I'm jumping up on cars and benches, and I got like homeless people, I got like kids, I got like just people follow me, and then they just keep following me and keep following me, and all of a sudden, like, it's nighttime and I'm occupying Charlotte. Right. Like, that's a vision I have for that song.
Do it.
Yeah, I say it, I just don't know. I mean, it'll get done, I'm sure.
I mean, it's you know, you gotta also give yourself like credit for the little things that you do. You know, you put that song, you mixed it, you're probably gonna master it. I don't know, not yet, probably.
Yeah, I guess it'll have to get done.
But like, you're building a soundscape. You know, you're building a place, and that every intricacy, every detail, like when you take that time. Like you're doing, like you're saying, you're submersing yourself into that. Yeah. See, that's loving what you're doing.
It feels so good.
Right there. Man, it's great. I love the process of songwriting is difficult, but it's you know, when you finally get down there to the end of it, man.
And because you'll swap the hook and make it it'll be so many different changes you can get into. I'll even step away from it for like a couple days. I'm like, I'll get so, you know, like even an art piece, where you're like looking at it and you're like, man, it's just not coming out right. And then somebody will say, or you're doing a math homework. Yeah. Just come back to it. You know what I mean? Stepping away and then coming back fresh and being like, oh, I can't believe I didn't hear that. Yeah. And you're like, oh, got it. Yeah.
And sometimes it takes months.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes years.
Oh, yeah. That one took like I'll probably say total production maybe 6 months. But I would step away from it for a while, so like maybe a year and a half in the making, and then I have another one that these are the only 3 I have on Spotify, where everything else is always was always mixtapes. It was me young talking shit, like, This I've actually delved into being more the rock, hip hop artist, where I'm playing my own music, like not just rapping over instrumentals or adding samples or whatnot. Right. This I actually made from the ground up. Like I input the guitars, I did the bass, I did the drums, and it felt good writing it like that. Yeah. So I'm really proud of my latest stuff.
You know, sometimes when you get into it like that, at least in my experience, you start getting into it, and it can be a little difficult to like you. It goes both ways. Like, so sometimes when I'm hot on an idea of music, when I'm just like, all right, I have this idea, you know, you lay down the bass line, or first for me, I start like with guitar. I lay down the guitar, my chord progressions or whatever, and then you realize you gotta like, that's the first take. How many after that, right? Because you start to go back and listen, you go like, I can do this better, you know. And so then you take another take, and then you take another one, and then finally you get to this point. I try to keep it within 3, you know, just for progression. Right. We can go over and over and over and over and over again until we're blue and passed out. But once you get there, you know, you just say, all right, I have to be okay with it because there's more attention that I need to give. So then you
to other things.
Yeah, to other things. Yeah, you don't want all your creative energy just going into one thing.
The eight bars, and you're like, man, but all that, and the rest of the song is still not.
Yeah, and then that's when it gets tedious. You're just like, oh yeah. Lord.
I've gone on the intro, like this one, Get Up, Get 'Em. Yeah. I've gone on the intro for like 30 seconds. That 30-second clip probably lasted me like 45 minutes. I'm like, stop for a second, stop for a second, stop for a second, stop for a second. Fade it in, fade it out. Right. Pull on the left, pull it on the right. All right, get up, get up. No, get up. I gotta sit there.
And then sometimes it's what type of atmosphere are you trying to create in that moment too? Yeah. Like what kind of, again, soundscape in your ears for the listener, but also for the vision that you have, and also it sets up everything else that's going to come after it.
Right.
So you're trying to like keep all of that in order at the same time. Make sure that you get your fundamentals down. Make sure that you're hitting your notes right. Make sure that you're like playing the right chords at the right time, keeping this in time. There's a lot. There was a lot, and that's why I think there's that beauty though in, you know, people who think that, you know, well, what do musicians do? They just go out and play. No, man. There's so much. You know, I'm been self-taught when it comes to working with, you know, like a program I use, Cubase, you know, and that's and it's like it was a big learning curve for, you know, my DAW, you know, and here I am, you know, still putting stuff out on SoundCloud, you know, and you know, working through it. Is it perfect? No, man, it's raw.
Yeah,
it's something, you know.
It's
something.
Start,
just put something out there.
Yeah,
put something out there because it's important to do that.
Absolutely. I think I started on Reverb Nation, and I have like about probably 50 songs on there that are just, I mean, whatever, just available to listen to. Nothing to buy, nothing, just all mixtape shit, but like cool stuff that I put together. And then I started doing my own EPs, like 7 songs.
Nice.
And then I would put those out.
Yeah.
And then, so like, now I have the most original music, and it's up on Spotify, and then I want to make some videos for it.
Right. See, I think that's, man, that content, what I love most about putting a song out and getting a song out there is it's a stamp in time of your life.
Yeah.
And it's so much better to just do it, and it might be raw, and it might not be what your full vision is, but looking back, and especially looking back in my life, when you look back at those things, when you see them, you go like, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad that that's there, because even it might not be like the full, completed, polished, beautiful vision that I had.
Right.
It's just a rough sketch, but it definitely stamps a time period in my life.
That's cool.
It's important, you know.
Yeah. I gotta stop saying that, like, that's not me anymore. I'll do that. I'll start listening to stuff that I was making when I was like 26.
Right.
You know, like, you know, but I'd be like, yeah, what was I talking about? Like,
and that's fine. I think that's fine. You know, but it still is you. It's just a different part of you that was identifying with different things at a different time period, and it's still relevant, you know.
Yeah.
But I want everyone listening and everyone here. I want you to know it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to grow. You know, it's okay to look at something or have a stance in like your mind at some place and be like, you know what?
I don't think that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that way anymore, and that's fine. You know, as long as you're not like doing something crazy. Going out and hurting people or something like that.
And then, well, what if you were, and then you're like, oh, you know what? I don't think like that anymore. Then that's where the law draws the line. You're like, I don't know if we can forgive you just yet. Like, you can't just be like, hey, all right, listen, I killed that lady.
No.
But look, I don't think that way anymore. Yeah. It was a few days ago.
You know, well, you think about it, and we were talking about Eminem earlier, and you think about Marshall Mathers. LP. Like the first
one.
The first one dropped in 2000.
Right.
And then it's been a real, like, so I was like in 8th grade or 7th grade when that came out.
The Marshall Mathers LP?
It might have been 6th grade. I don't know. I was in middle school.
I was already out of high school.
Yeah, I was and I remember being there and listening to that and going like, wow.
Marshall Mathers LP, I was living in Tampa, Florida, working at Verizon Wireless when they first became Verizon Wireless.
Oh, wow.
And, that's where I was when Marshall Mathers LP came out.
Yeah.
I was a big fan. I mean, I love Eminem still, but I was a big fan.
And so, look at that, 2000, look at almost 20 years later.
That was the year that I thought the computers were going to kill us.
Yeah, I remember Y2K, man.
I stockpiled water. My roommates thought I was crazy.
I remember Y2K.
You're like, what are you doing? I'm like, putting gallons of water underneath the sink, man. They're like, what does it matter? Even if. Like,
you know, you think about it, like the kids that were born, 2018? All those kids that were born in 2000 are adults now.
Yeah.
That's nuts. You think about it. But anyways, he released that album. And this is what I'm saying is, and then you watch his discography, like you can see like how he's changed. And my favorite, and still to my day, like this 2013, I believe, he dropped Marshall Mathers LP2.
Yeah,
and
that was when we get married, maybe 15. Because I remember I was living in this. It was only maybe 13.
It was 13.
It was the year we got married. That's right. Yeah,
2013.
I've been here 5 years. Did you like it?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was like, wow. Like there was.
I gotta listen to it again.
It was for me. I mean, just because, like I mean, he went through like there was a ton of albums that I would be remiss to try to even begin to like name all of them. But you know, he had his recovery and like relapse and recovery.
I loved relapse.
You know, and you know, you had like in 2004 you had Curtain Call and like all this other stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he was thinking. And then the in betweens, like the re-up and all that kind of. That's when I stopped listening to him, really.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But then he comes with like these new like ideas. And for me, Marshall Mathers LP2, and the reason why I give it so much credit is because you see, like, man, I was young and angry, and I wanted to say, and he goes at it. He just goes at it.
I gotta take another listen.
You know, and then you listen to it, Marshall Mathers, and I think the one that touched me the most was like when he's sitting there apologizing to his mom. With some bars,
yeah,
you know, and you go like, man, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's true.
You can watch like all the anger and the angst and the like just big negative ball of energy that was being used as his outlet, which is fine. I think that's what music is there for. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But then you watch it come back around. It's just something like, no man, I fucked up. I made a mistake.
You can curse all you want.
You know, I want to use that in context. He's like, I made a mistake. And then he apologizes. And it's to see that level of just awareness. And you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
I think that's
cool.
Like, oh man, that's cool.
Dope.
Yeah, and that's what is beautiful.
Yeah, because you gotta remember, their life is on display. You know what I mean? Like, all the, like, it's not just a snapshot of it. Well, actually, everything is a snapshot of who they are at all given time. Like, we can hang out in our house, or like, you know, people don't have to see us every single day, but like, you could literally be seen every single day, or like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So, you know, again, that's that artist working through all of the turbulence, and does he that way? Nah. Now, what's going on with MGK?
This performance at the Empire State Building on Jimmy Kimmel last night is dope.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it because they'll cut my they'll mute that part of this.
Yeah.
Which is fine, I guess, but then they can't hear us talking about it.
Yeah.
But
no, I hear you. Rights and licensing.
I'm a big MGK fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had this conversation probably now 3 weeks in a row that it's come back to MGK and Eminem. But I've probably listened to MGK consistently for the past 5 to 7 years. Like, since I heard of him, he did that one song when he first came out. Was what the heck's it called? Breaking News? No, not Breaking News. Chip Off the Old Block. Chip Off the Block. And he was like 18, like 17, like just. I've been a big fan, and I've seen him progress, and I think I related somewhat to Eminem, but in opposite it a little bit, but I relate to MGK more. He's younger than me, but I still relate more to his like rock and like just his edge. It's more. I'm less hip hop than I am rock. Like I think I like hardcore, I like heavy metal, I like rock. But I started doing rap and hip hop music. But I've always wanted to blend the two, and Eminem is more hip hop than I am. MGK is more of that edgy than I am. Yeah, so I kind of I relate to it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know a lot about him.
Yeah, no, not a lot of people do.
And I didn't know a lot about him until one of my friends came over to my apartment. And we were all hanging out. He's like, "Oh, did you hear like that Eminem like this?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, first of all, it takes a lot of balls to come out and like just say something against Eminem,
or to get him to to just say
respond.
So many people have said something, even like some nobodies, but for you to tag him and he responds.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's some shit. I give him credit for that.
Yeah, I had to say that, but you know, honestly, that did I think because you got to think about.
Did you think it doing harm?
All it did was they say what they say. Good press, or bad press.
Bad press.
Any press, any press.
I think it's good for him and his fans. Anybody that likes Eminem, it's not good press, right? But MGK and his fans, he's got a lot of underground following.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like even the people Eminem dissed, they were celebrating like, woohoo! Eminem dissed me.
Well, I mean, like you think about like his old feuds like ICP and when stuff was going on.
Yeah. I think. What do you think Eminem's hardest beef? The entire Green Lantern mixtapes against Benzino, I think, were hard. Everlast was pretty hard.
I mean, just as a kid, I mean, I saw him go after just
Britney Spears.
Yeah, I mean,
he hit her pretty hard.
I mean, anyone, but I mean, I think again, if we're going to if we're going to keep it into the
just killed a career.
Yeah, I mean. See, you look at that stuff, man. I mean, 50 Cent had something with that too.
I think it started with him, and then Eminem came in there. Yeah.
So, man, I haven't talked to hip hop in a while, man. I like it. It's
too awesome.
Yeah, it's going back.
I went down. I used to get all the the Green Lantern mixtapes. I was like the kid on Napster downloading like the newest like. DJ Green Lantern, Eminem disses Ray Benzino, and then Everlast disses Eminem back. It was like Eminem's like a 7 battle track rapper. Like it's not just like, oh, he dissed me, I dissed him back. These are the tracks that they dissed each other on. Eminem's like, no, I'm gonna hit you this way. They're gonna respond. He's gonna, I'm gonna hit you again, and then there was like 3-4 tracks in a row that he hit Everlast with. It was good. It was awesome.
You just of course we eat it up because it's drama.
I love it. I was like, what's he gonna say next?
But I think some of it's a little bit of competition. I think some of it's a little ego, and some of it's pride. It's all just mixed up. I don't usually. I like in my music. I try to. I write lyrically. Like I try to like phrase things. I don't like directly call people up like that. Like in my music, just because I don't know. It's not.
So what kind of music do you generally make?
Man, I just like to write songs about life, what's going on in my moment, and a lot of I've noticed this change in my writing style is it's begin to get a little more abstract, a little more pushing the boundaries of the normal conversations that I usually have. If you listen to my first EP, which is on Spotify and Google, not be on Google, but definitely on Apple.
Do you go by George
Amazon.
Banda?
Yeah, George Banda, B-A-N-D-A.
Yeah. You said SoundCloud as well?
Yeah, those are my raw tracks. So that's
cool.
Underground George Banda.
That's me too.
Yeah,
I put out my latest like EP. It was all just like 45 minutes long.
Right.
And I let everybody listen to the raw tracks in a row.
Yeah.
Like I had them here uncut.
Yeah.
And I just left them there.
Yeah. I think that's great. On SoundCloud, George_Banda. On Instagram,
George_Banda.
Yeah.
B-A-N-D-A. On SoundCloud. And what were you saying on the other one?
Apple Music.
Apple Music and Spotify. Yeah, nice.
So, it's... But you listen to my first album, which I dropped in 2016, my first EP. And again, shout out to Croquet Records for putting that on, and James and Eric, I love you guys very much. You guys
Croquet.
fantastic. Yeah.
Shout.
And so
is that here in Charlotte?
Yeah, they were
Cool.
they were a non-profit recording company that wants to help up and coming artists, put their stuff together.
Yeah.
And I think that is beautiful. That's a beautiful concept. I couldn't have done it without them. So it really means a lot to me because getting into making albums and stuff, and it can get. I saw some of my friends. Shout out to Ordinary Elephant for putting out their they just met their like $25,000 goal for their new record. And you think about, you think $25,000, like what
to raise $25,000.
They raised $25,000 to put out their new album.
Yeah.
And I look at it and go like, wow, like how does any like artist like up and coming gonna put like together $25,000? Like if they want, I mean, I'm not saying it has to be that much. It's just
any money.
Yeah.
Like what do you do to start raising money for yourself?
I mean, you sell your merch at your shows, you play shows, you tap the community, in good ways, and you play shows, you go on tour, and you save.
A lot of artists now, being independent is a great thing.
Right.
And not trying to get signed, but a lot of young hip hop rap artists are just like wanting to get signed and then they get shit deals. But staying independent is a big deal.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice.
I think the internet is so good. Right now.
Yeah.
Internet's so good.
What's the best platforms to release on? You think? I mean, Spotify.
Yeah, I mean the new Spotify stuff I've seen where it gives a little. I think from what I understand, it gives a little bit more of the control to the users on what they want to put out there. I haven't put anything on Spotify other than my album.
They're signing podcasters now to like Pandora and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like I'm trying to think who has. I think Bill Burr might have his podcast on there now, and Joe Rogan doesn't want to do it.
Wow. I
don't know.
I don't know.
But he's got this podcast app. So I think he's trying to get more. That's how I listen to him, because I used to just go to YouTube and watch the video at the same time on my headset. But I was like, I don't have time to fucking watch the video. I just want to listen to what's going on, right? So then they had this app.
He has a pretty dope. I mean,
bro.
Yeah, I love that.
He gets
so good.
The types of people he gets can be anything from like, dude, your local. I mean, not your local skater, but like, I mean, he goes from like Neil deGrasse Tyson to Joey Diaz to what's her name, the governor of Hawaii now, like crazy.
I know that
politicians and all sorts of doggies.
Doggies.
Oh shit! I in transit. Hold on, let me go close the door.
Hi. Well, you're just a cutie, aren't you? Are you just a little cutie? Mm-hmm. Good. Uh-oh.
Shit.
Oh! We got doggos and little ones running around the street.
That's all good. Yeah, I think they just got back from gymnastics. Don't close those doors. I appreciate it.
Gymnastics.
Get them.
Stay limber.
Don't close the door. Yeah. Oh, I don't even think she got in the picture. Go ahead. Hurry up. Go close the door, please. Close both doors.
We were talking about that. I love that because I mean he's even had Alex Jones on there.
Right. Right. I love the fact he had Roseanne Barr on the other day. I listened to the whole thing today.
Yeah.
She's I don't know what to say. I don't remember the last time I heard somebody smoking on air. She was smoking cigarettes.
Oh wow.
Like she's like, this whole thing's got me fucked up. She's already. I guess she had traumatic brain injury a long time ago, and then she was in a psych ward. But this was a long time ago. She was a teenager. But this led to who she is now, and she's been in character, is what she says. And she's like, I just said some shit like in character, and like not even in character. She said it wasn't supposed to be racist. I don't know what the hell. But anyway, I listened to her, and I was like, all right, cool.
I saw the Connors. They released the Connors now.
What a shit deal.
I mean, at the same time, they essentially, her show got pulled, so they lost their job too, right? Because it was Roseanne.
Right.
And then when she got pulled, like they lost their job. So now they're rerunning it with the Connors.
Yeah, they. I heard. Okay, so she said they killed her off.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Joe Rogan's trying to like, you know, get her back in, like, you know, what if they were like maybe had you come back like as a ghost and like you visit Dan. You're like, come on, Dan, like, you know, like she was like, I don't know. She's like, she's probably gonna start doing more comedy, but that's shitty. I mean it's the climate's so hot right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's not good, but at the same time, I'm like, you're gonna pull her show. She's a comedian, but you got the president running around on Twitter saying shit he means. Like she's on like drugs and shit. She's like clinically not good. So like you can kind of be like, all right, you know, she's a comedian too, so it gets a pass, but you got to think about it in a different way than you got the president saying shit and he really means that shit.
Yeah,
it's just a shit deal together. They could have let her continue to be that character, because I don't know, like.
I don't know either, honestly.
And then you got freaking.
Just got some of the things that are said, you know, just they're so out of touch with where we are.
It is,
you know,
yeah.
And I think as this generation progresses, we get more and more aware of things that aren't okay.
Not appropriate.
Yeah. So. But you know, it just sucks because I mean, you spent your entire life working at that. Just like one swoop.
They gave her some money,
you know.
But and what's she gonna do now? She's just gonna go on tour and comedian. Who even fucked up? What would spark you to think that would be okay to say, even in a fucked up state, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you can not take that the way.
I just think they're from a different generation, man. They're from a different language
it's true.
than what we are.
My Nana sounds like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
She does.
They're just a different generation, a different code, and you know, as we progress and move forward, the internet's changed a lot, you know, changing, you know, politics, changing, you know, social mores, you know, the internet's been, because we have information all the time at our hands, we've been able to, you know, someone's idea that's, you know, radicalized or popularized, like it's gone, spreads like wildfire.
Yeah.
You know, the next thing you know, there's these, you know, there's legislation and all this other stuff being drawn up.
How fast that would move,
yeah, you're like, wow, that's crazy. But you know, just coming back to the podcast, just thinking about Joe Rogan, like I admire that he has such a spectrum of voices.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
I like when he has 2-3 people on, like that's cool. Yeah, he definitely tries his best to do a diverse.
I think that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's freedom of speech, man. That's what's beautiful about our Constitution, is we do have freedom of speech, and I think as long as, you know, we remember that, you know, and kind of abide by that, I think it's okay. Now, inciting violence and all that other stuff now, but
see, with people don't know people do know where the line is, but why do people argue when they know? It's like arguing with a child. Like, you know you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, but no, it's not. There's no like sideways way to think about it.
Yeah.
Like don't. You know what's inciting something. You know what's gonna get that fire going. Like that can't be done. That is by law, actually.
Yeah.
There's a court case that said like if you're trying to build something or like incite your surroundings to do something, you're getting violence, like that's over the line.
And that's what's again what's questionable with current administration. You hear all that stuff coming out of there and you go like, man.
The Pocahontas thing?
You know what? Shout out to Elizabeth Warren for actually doing the DNA test.
Right? And now he won't even give her the money.
Yeah, now he's like, I never said that.
You have to, but they have a clip of him. That's what's weird. It's like, does he not see? He has YouTube. He can go and see his video of him saying that. No, I didn't say that. They cloned me and put me up there. Or something. I don't know. Yeah. That's so crazy. Yeah. I was listening to NPR or BBC, and they had a guy on there from the tribe. And he was also saying though, he's like, yeah, what Trump's doing is not cool, but also Elizabeth Warren not being, he was like, the importance here is that we're a sovereign nation,
right.
And being part of a tribe is not just about DNA.
Right.
So he was like, she's still doing her thing. What they should be talking about is how they're going to help with native issues and
Right.
how we're going to
Support.
continue to
Very
keep our sovereignty, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
both of them, you know.
I grew up in Arizona, and so I grew up not far from the Apache Indian reservation,
All right.
and you know they're their own government, they're their own people.
That's so
that-
awesome.
and, you know,
I wish I could do that.
you know, you see it, and they it's very important. My older sister, has her master's degree, and she works with the Indian population.
Yeah.
Out in Arizona, you know, and works in I think the school system. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I think, you know, making sure that those issues are, you know, taken care of and brought up. That's very true. And
Yeah.
you know, another thing, to her credit, she did say there is a difference between
She did.
you know being in its lineage and actually being in a tribe.
The interviewer said that. He's
Yeah.
like, but didn't, and what do you say to that?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, no, okay, I respect that. And then he said, and also what Donald Trump's doing, like that, Pocahontas is a real person. That's not fucking funny.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like.
I don't know, like, what, like,
He's
so
just
referencing.
referencing.
It's true. So how is it a sly? Unless you're saying that it's not true, and then is it? So it's like what are you doing?
Oh, what he was saying about
Yeah.
the,
So like when they say Pocahontas and they say that, I'm like, oh, it's proven. Like, so she's in the lineage of Native American.
yeah.
So, okay, so is this, what are you trying to say? Like,
He's just being a smart ass
Yeah.
New York. I mean, I'm from New York, so like, but he sounds like a lot of people I know or have met
Well.
from an area that just, they say, whatever, you know, that's their joking ways. And I don't know if he doesn't know how to like really filter himself. They joke with each other like that. It's kind of like it's the things that would make other people uncomfortable, but they don't make each other uncomfortable. They can say like different shit, and they're like, "Ha ha, buddy, right?" And you're like, "No, not really." But fuck, man, look at this guy. Look at like Pocahontas, huh? No, that's not funny.
You know,
No.
that's why we need to write music and get it out and be active with our words and our songs and our beats and our bars and our rhythms.
Nice.
We have to. This is I think for me, you know, it's one thing to be able to speak, and no one wants to sit there and listen. I mean, I do like to analyze politics, I really do, but no one, the majority of people, when it comes to music, aren't going to want to sit there and just be like, oh, that's another political song, that's another political song. Like eventually you get burned out. It's politics is a very heavy thing. But this is where music.
It is heavy, man.
This is where music, and you saw this with the Beatles, and you saw it definitely with John Lennon. You know, you see this. Like, let's get back to the point of what we are. First of all, we all bleed the same color. We're all human beings, and music brings us together. And I know this, man. Like music crosses the divide and the barriers, and music brings healing. Music is able to open up doors, open up lines of conversation. Music is able to also shut down, you know, negative like types of ideas. And so, I guess just because I want to make sure that we focus really on the music today, because I love these ideas that, you know, we can actually really do something with the sounds
With
of
it,
yeah.
What's some good music you're listening to lately?
Oh man, I mean,
What are you wearing?
The Beatles, man.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Okay, I couldn't really see it.
Yeah, this shirt is so.
Yeah?
I've had it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Beatles.
I make old T-shirt blankets. I put all my old band shirts in blankets and stuff.
That's sweet.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. You know, again, I listen to a lot of the local music scene here in Charlotte. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I am very honored to be a part of the local music scene here in Charlotte. I'm actually.
Are you in the band with Alexa?
Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
man, Shorty.
So
she's great.
I met her too and asked her. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
you need to have. We have a show together. Her CD's dropping December 14th at the Evening News, y'all. I'm opening up
December
for her.
14th.
Yeah.
I got a show on the 18th, so the 14th will be good. That's Friday.
It's a Friday night.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
And
yeah.
so I'm really excited to be able to play a show with her. She's such a wonderful. She's 19 now.
Word.
Yeah, and she's really has this strong voice. Really, I love the chord progressions that she uses. Because I analyze music, so I listen to music a little bit differently than most people do. I'm not saying that. I just because I have I graduated with my degree in music theory.
Right, so you're breaking it down.
Yeah, I'm always analyzing. Like I was a music student at Queen's University here in Charlotte.
Nice.
And so.
What year?
Graduated on December of 2016.
Nice.
I was one of those older students.
That's all right. Congrats.
Yeah. I took the time that I needed to do it, and there were some really good moments in there. Some really bad ones, but a lot of good songs came out of that time.
Nice.
And, but coming back to your question, I'll listen to. Man, I've heard snippets of Alexa Jensen's new album, and it's fire.
Nice.
Dave Page, another one of the local artists. Listen, we all hang out. Again, dollar signs. They're a punk band.
Okay.
Yeah, DIY punk here in Charlotte.
All right.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
They just their new album is best I've ever heard.
Wow, that's so cool that you listen to a lot more of the local stuff.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's your culture.
Yeah,
that's what you steep yourself in.
Yeah.
You said you had Jay Smith on here.
Oh, and he sang we put him on the spot.
Yeah,
we were like,
he's
give
great,
us an
man.
acapella freestyle.
Yeah, I love Jay.
Yeah,
we went to Queens together as well.
Oh, so, cool. Yeah. I've had a few hip hop artists. I'm all about conversation, so we focus on art, music, anything that entails that. But we've gotten into art, entrepreneurship, health and wellness. I've gone into a few things. Children's education and stuff like that. Yeah. So we've had. I've gotten into the comedy scene though. So I most recently had a lot of comedians.
You need to have Dana Coster on.
Okay.
Because Dana she runs Charlotte Laughs Tonight, CLT.
Okay.
And she's
CLT. That's so cool.
Charlotte Laughs Tonight.
Charlotte Laughs Tonight.
Yeah.
She's
she does all the comedian stuff, and talk to Evan, or I don't know if JD Caldwell said anything about it or anything like that.
I'm gonna holler. He's giving me a couple people too. So yeah. There's this guy. I forgot his name. Hold on. I messaged him. Anyway, there's just some good. Greg Paroff. You know Greg? He does some acting and stuff. He's cool. He does. And I don't know if you've ever been to the open mics, but he does. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
No, I don't.
He does that it's really cool.
Maybe
cool.
in passing I wouldn't.
Yeah, he did he does. I've only been to one open mic myself. Well, I went to the Comedy Zone, but I've been to the Crown Station open mic. That's where I started.
I was passing Crown Station on the other day on the way to Divine Barrel where I was playing a gig, and I was like, man, that's where it is. I knew it was tucked away somewhere, and I was like,
I found it one day just random.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they opened back up because we used to do the hip hop mic down off Elizabeth. And if you want some more water, there's pictures right over there. I'll go grab it. So I just found it. I was with my buddy Todd, and he's been 10 years sober. I interviewed him. I wanted to talk to him. He's like, let's go get some coffee. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, there's this coffee shop around here. And I was like, okay, cool. So we go around. All of a sudden, I'm like, these garages are open. And I'm like, Crown Station? What the?
Yeah.
So we sat in the bar, and it was really cool because he's 10 years sober, and he's like, I can be here and be all right.
That's
I'm
good.
like, really?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, that was the time when I see all those bottles, and I'd be like, I want to drink every single one of them.
Yeah.
And he interviewed with me for like an hour there. But anyway, I just jumped on. I randomly.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like it. The mic's cool. It's long, so there's room for people to be in the back, kind of chilling. They don't have to be, but there's open mic there for music.
Thursdays. Mimi does the
Wednesdays.
the Wednesday night.
and open mics on Thursday, bands and stuff. And then I was thinking about trying to do a hip hop night, but I don't know if they're interested.
Yeah, I mean, there was a wave. It seems to come in waves, like singer-songwriters, comedians, hip-hop artists, singer-songwriters, comedians. They come in waves.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that, and for all y'all who don't, like, you guys need to come to Charlotte and check out. We really have a thriving scene. A lot of people say, oh, it's not like, y'all. If you can find, there's like an open mic every night of the week somewhere.
There is.
In Charlotte.
And there's a comedy open mic somewhere. There's a hip hop open mic. There's a there is.
And so there's all these opportunities. There just needs to be more like awareness. I don't know, but you guys are always welcome, man. Come on out.
Yeah, come out to Charlotte.
Yeah, play your tunes, sing your songs. Find some there's a lot of love going around the city when it comes to music, and I'm really, again, I can't reiterate this enough. I am so thankful to be a part of this community. And it's you watch your friends go from one album to the next, or from one song to the next, and watch how the growth happens. And it's wonderful. It's been a pleasure of mine for the last 12 years.
Oh wow! Yeah. I've been here on and off since '96, and when I got here, I started doing hip hop open mics. So this is my first kind of out with a different kind of open mic, doing comedy, and then maybe I'll get into some poetry. I have some stuff that I do, but I've mostly stayed like hip hop and rock, metal.
Yeah.
I've been in bands, like just playing
metal open mic. That would be
I want to do a karaoke live band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you see those at like Myrtle Beach
or an air band competition.
That would be fun.
You just play the song and you get your band together and you go up there on stage with just nothing.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of rocking out.
Just jamming. You get contests. Yeah.
I'll be in the air mosh pit.
The air pit.
I don't do anymore. I've been to plenty of punk shows, and I think my front of the stage days are behind me now.
Punk rock's a little different than like your hardcore.
Definitely.
Yeah, punk rock is like so like.
Yeah.
Like the angst is there.
Yeah.
And I think hardcore and metal is like it's less angst and more like like anger,
like rage.
Yeah, like ooh. And punk rock is
everyone's social anxiety. It's like eating them alive. They're like just. So everyone has this, like crippling self-anxiety, and they're just like,
they just don't know what to do. Yeah. I'm out in public. There's a lot of other people.
Yeah, and then the music starts to play, and that music. See, this was beautiful about punk music, and then in this scene that I've seen, is those songs start to like really. Like the gates of like depression and anxiety are just like when they start hearing these songs and these lyrics that's beautiful. That's music.
That's what that's what metal and
Yeah, I'm a big metalhead.
It makes me happy. People get like all like weird about it. They were like, how do you find joy in that? I can't even understand them. And then it's so angry and loud. I'm like, yeah. And when it releases, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Like, would you rather me listen to that? Like, it gets me in good moods. Like,
Slipknot.
Oh man.
Maggot. Love like Slipknot.
I hear you. What's my favorite? I like Heretic's Anthem. I like that he raps. I love that. I used to listen to Mudvayne. And I like that he raps.
Yeah.
And Slipknot's definitely. And then did you listen to what was the next band that he? Well, actually, that band came first. The other band they put out. You don't need Stone Sour.
Yeah.
Stone Sour was banned first.
Oh really?
Before Slipknot.
Wow.
But that wasn't doing nothing, so he made Slipknot.
Yeah.
And Slipknot fucking tore it up.
That was a different monster.
Ooh, yeah.
And I gotta admit, so I listened to again, this was in my middle school and high school days, Slipknot. So just a little bit of background, I grew up in a very conservative, Christian household, so some of this music was off limits. It was where most people are sneaking out and doing like going out and partying, I was trying to sneak music CDs into my house and try to listen. I remember I kept, again, coming back to Eminem, not to be redundant, but I kept and Marshall Mathers LP CD like tucked away like in my bag in special places because I couldn't, like, I would take it out and I'd listen to it on my little. This was back when we had CD players.
Yep.
And little carry around the CD.
I had a Walkman.
Yeah, Walkman. I had the.
You had the CD skip resistant.
Yeah, man.
Skip
shock
resistant. The shock on there.
Like you can.
I had a tape player in my winter jacket right here.
Yeah.
That went in the inside pocket, and then I had my orange headphones.
Yeah.
Like the little thing.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I listened to so much metal.
Dude, tapes were awesome. Like, you know.
Remember going to the tape shop?
I remember going to record shop. Like, I mean, they still have record shops. I mean, I remember tape.
They were just on the wall. You take them out, like this. They on the plastic handle things.
Yes.
And you got
yes.
Yeah.
You know.
When they had like Sam Goodies and all them.
I remember when DVDs came out.
Yeah.
And that was like the new wave.
Let's see. I remember the big discs.
Yeah.
My neighbors had those big laser discs first. And then
Yeah. So I mean, we used to listen to music on that. We used to. So I mean, you know, you have all these mediums for music, and it's just really wonderful to see. Like,
yeah. If you could real quick, let's say go through the years of your life from when you started listening to music, like name one like band or inspiration. Maybe go through your years of like 10. Like if you could start with like I would say let me start. 13, Poison, Motley Crue, and Def Leppard.
Okay.
14, Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man.
Don't go all through the years, but like skip around,
the big
you know?
three.
Yeah.
I've always been more of a Megadeth fan
than Metallica?
Metallica.
Yeah, I'm more of a Dave Mustaine fan than Metallica. Yeah. I loved how political he was. I loved how like...
He could play the guitar.
Oh my God. He wouldn't have fit in Metallica anymore. Yeah.
I have the utmost respect, and because I mean I was growing up. So again, being in this household that I grew up in, which is part of my heritage, part of my past, and part of the things that I love. There's a lot of things I love about it. A lot of things I don't agree with anymore, but a lot of things that I do really appreciate that came out of it. With that being said, I remember listening to. You listen to like Norma Jean. Like I was a big Norma Jean.
Oh
fan.
yeah, okay.
Huge Norma Jean
I
fan.
didn't listen to a lot, but I've heard of the band.
Yeah, and this was.
See, every record was acceptable for me. My parents weren't like that. My dad introduced me to Guns N' Roses. But he drew the line at Metallica, the shortest straw. And Justice for All was the heavier album. He would wake me up on Sunday morning to Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, right? That was the household I grew up in. Yeah. But then he'd also have the Bee Gees and some other Chicago and Boston, right?
So it's okay. So not so that people like don't get the wrong idea here. There was. We listened to. See, it was crazy. My mom actually had her own tapes too. She would bring things in like so like when I catch my mom listening
the
to
forbidden
she'd be like and that's I guess
Debbie Gibson and Tiffany.
She was a big like Texas Tornadoes fan. This is like thinking about like our culture. We listen to like a lot of norteño music or a lot of traditional like mariachi music and so some of those things so I was like, well, she's doing it, like, so I guess and it was at the same time. It wasn't that it was necessarily. Let me go ahead and talk about it at the time. It wasn't that it was necessarily outlawed. It's just there was so much negative stigmatism within the community of the church that I was going to, that if it was found out, it was always like a little bit like a mark, like a shameful now, like you're not doing God's work. And that's not true. By the way, music is beautiful in all forms and all shapes.
I agree.
And so I did listen to a lot of gospel music growing up, lots of Christian music. But when I started to really break away, I really got into country music. I got into dude, I really do appreciate all spectrums. You know, I've been really. So let's say like so. All right. So I was, of course, I've always been a Beatle fan because Beatles were always there. But I remember the first time I heard Santana and Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock.
All right.
And I was like, whoa, like Soul Sacrifice, or like, you know,
Right.
Jimi Hendrix playing like the Star Spangled Banner on his
Yeah.
like, and I was like, whoa.
Mine was like Led Zeppelin. If I was
Yeah.
gonna go back that far, Zeppelin, and but then like I said, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest.
Iron Maiden, dude, Flight of Icarus, favorite song.
Yeah.
Forever.
I listened to Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would play my dad's records, but he wouldn't let me, so I'd sneak them. So I'd have them, and I'd be playing it, and then I'd try to play them backwards to see if they had any messages. Yeah, because my friend had he was like, his parents and family were Christians, so he would like be like, dude, don't listen to that record. If you play it backwards, it says da 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 da. And I'd be like, really? And I'd try to do it on my dad's record.
You scratch them all up.
Oh my God, he's caught me a few times. Yeah, I was just telling this story. I got caught with my pants backwards and everything when Crisscross came out.
Oh wow.
Me and my buddy were like scratching a record, and my dad came home while we were like dancing, and we had our pants and stuff backwards. That was the thing that was forbidden. Rap music. He didn't give a shit about Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne. Like it didn't matter. Like whatever. Rap music. Don't bring that shit in my house. Like fuck it. So I brought it in the house. I was a Tupac fan.
There was definitely some of those conversations. Get that out of here.
Oh, he sent me to my room. Get your fucking clothes. Turn them around right now. Your friend goes home. Like he was so pissed. My hat was backwards. He was fucking mad.
Backwards, saggy pants, big pants. Those are like all those things. But you know, so I think about some of my influences growing up. Again, I grew up listening to like a lot of you know, Tex-Mex music, and you know, playing a lot of Tex-Mex, which is just really the music of the hill people of like, you know, it's there's when you listen to Tex-Mex or if you listen to, you know, like mariachi music, it's, you know, or norteño, like there's parallels that can be drawn to like, you know, bluegrass, and I mean the chord progressions the same, melodies are the same,
right.
Bass lines are the same.
Nice.
You know, and so that's why I love old time string music. You know, like, you know, John Henry and Where's That Preacher, and like, you know, June Apple, and I played in an old time string band.
Nice.
I played bass, and so we used to play Big Coyote. Those are really like, you know, like, yeah, it's a whole other culture of music, and then that predates bluegrass, and so then bluegrass comes along. So this is like, you know, that's when they have the clawhammer style banjo playing, and I have friends that play clawhammer, and you know, then the resonators come on the bluegrass. You think about bluegrass, and you think about, of course, the banjo, and you think about the guitars, and even bluegrass, man, I love it. I've been up to some festivals up there. I went to Hoppin' John. They had Mount Airy and big filler conventions, man.
Yeah.
Big fires and everyone around playing the same tune.
Wow.
It's just nuts. And everyone taking turns, and you go to like little campsites, and like everyone's around there.
Kind of like jam.
Just jamming.
You know, when I first moved up, when I moved back up here, jam bands kind of got my attention. I know a tattoo artist up in Mooresville who's in a jam band, and like there's like 9 guys, and they're just like, just jam. It's exactly what you say it is, jam band.
Yeah.
You're like I mean, you probably have songs, but you're still jamming. You're just like running through them and medley.
Yeah.
You know, songs. You're just like, yeah.
It's like, and so, I'm going to come to this point too, but to your point, absolutely. You go through these you go through these campsites, and they're all jamming. And what's cool is that if you don't know the tune,
you just
like,
pick up.
You just it's like merging on the lane. Like, yeah, I don't know this tune, but they're gonna.
That's what I'm imagining when you're telling me that. You're just like, you just walk it, and you could just kind of like blend out and blend back in.
And you come in and you just like, I don't know this tune,
but I can.
But I'm gonna figure it out, and then the next thing you know, you're like everyone, and it gives you chills.
Yeah.
Because you'll have like 4, 5, 10 upright bass players all playing the same line, and so this is in this massive fire. This is what I'm remembering. Because there's everyone's smoking pot and drinking beer and like just going
just
out
having a good time.
And they're playing old-time string music, you know. Like you would think that you were like definitely at a festival or something.
I'd like to check that out. Wow,
it's beautiful, man. And so you get there and you listen and you play along and you go from campsite to campsite playing these different songs. You're like a little troubadour within a little community.
Yeah.
Everyone's there to listen and be supportive, you know. And I think so. Drawing those parallels, that's why like I love that type of music, and so those are some of the big influences in my life. Listening to that growing up, listening to a lot. I really love jazz music.
I want to be a drummer in a jazz band when I'm like 60. Yeah. My grandfather kind of had me listen to jazz music, like nothing major, but like Bill Evans Trio.
Oh my God!
And like,
one
of my he bought me a few CDs, some orchestra, some jazz.
Bill Evans, man.
Yeah,
favorite.
Great CD.
Favorite. So, Birth the Cool, Miles Davis, like Kind of Blue came out in '55, I believe, or somewhere. You can check me.
What is it?
Kind of Blue, I think it was 55. Miles Davis. And, because I mean, we want to make sure we get our facts straight here.
Big Facts News.
Facts.
Miles Davis, which one was it called?
Kind of Blue.
So,
Kind of Blue?
Oh, Kind of Blue.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think it's 55 or 52 or 55?
59.
59.
August 17th. That's my dad's birthday.
Hey, 59.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Bill Evans, man, those lines that he laid down.
Yeah.
I mean, flamenco sketches from that album really that rock my world.
Yeah.
I mean, all blues. Well, it's not. I take it a little bit faster, but it's you know. And then Bill.
I like. I just see myself like maybe lounge music a little bit.
Just like
like
stirring the pot mix.
Do some brushes. Like I just see that. Yeah.
So you think about like so I listen to that album a lot and man, you go on and Miles Davis was absolutely one of my big heroes. He always the ideal like role model now. Has anyone ever really been the ideal role model? No, we're all humans and we all have our mistakes and we mess up. But
was there any controversy? What did he do?
Well, no. I mean, just I mean, he was he was very. He was Miles Davis.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I watched an interview.
I think you know a lot about different types of music that I've probably not been exposed to.
Really?
Yeah. Because the way you're saying, like, I've listened to music, but I guess I'm more. I definitely listen to a lot of different genres, but you've explored other genres, and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I would encourage everyone who's listening or who watches, please do yourself a favor. This is our music, man. Like jazz is built off of blues. Blues is the lifeblood of jazz. And jazz is our heritage as Americans. It's our music, man. It was birthed out of a very difficult period, but it's still ours, and it was a gift that was given to us. And it's just something that when it hurts me. I don't get mad or like because people have their opinions and people want to say what they want to say. That's fine.
Are there people still playing? Obviously, the people still playing, but is it popular like it used to be?
Or, jazz?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think jazz is like blue jeans. I don't think it ever goes out of style. I think blue jeans will always.
There were time periods that were like
in popular music,
like,
you got Count Basie, Duke Ellington, like the big jazz bands, right? Like there was the big band era.
Yeah.
Then you had the swing era, and so or big band swing. You had then you started in the bebop, Dizzy Gillespie, and of course Charlie Bird Parker. Man, y'all want to hear some lines, Bird Parker. You listen to him.
What generation are you?
Millennial.
Millennial. Yeah. I'm on the like cusp, I guess, because
Yeah.
I was born in '78.
Yeah.
So I'm like Generation X.
Yeah.
Almost millennial.
87. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So my wife's a millennial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah, she was born in '87 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good year.
Yeah.
Good year.
My dad's on the. I think my dad is actually a Generation X, even though he was 56. So 56 is the first year for Generation
Really?
X. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's not a baby boomer.
My dad is a baby boomer.
Yeah. My aunt's a baby boomer, but me and my wife were just looking that up last night.
Yeah.
I was like, where do they get the names from? I'm like, I don't know. Millennial sounds like millennium, maybe the 2000s.
Yeah.
When you grew up.
Yeah.
Right? When
So
you
we were
became an adult.
turn of the century.
Yeah.
That's cool. It was a cool time. That's a very, very awesome thing to live through.
I feel like I know millennial culture, so to speak.
Oh, we're everywhere.
Like I'm a Generation X, but like being on the cusp, like I've definitely grew up in both eras.
Right.
You know, like I saw one. I went through the '80s, but then I also went through the '90s, and then I also went through the 2000s. I was like, oh, I was still kind of. I stayed young for a while.
Yeah,
I still am. But
I always stay
you know,
young, man.
Yeah.
You know, age is. I mean, people say age is just a number. I think it could be a number, but I feel like people define themselves by their age, and I don't want to be one of those people. And I think to be a good artist and musician, you shouldn't. And always be mindful of what you've done or where you are and what's going on. What are the topics and objects of conversation within a generation.
Right.
To be able, because you always. What I find is that every generation goes through the same thing that we went through. They just have a different way of relating to it, and so to be able to tap into them. I'm not saying that you have to be right there. Like, I'm not saying like you can like fully. You've been there. You've been through that.
You don't
process.
have to experience it, but you can relate.
Definitely relate to it.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
relate to
That's the difference between people tend to think that you're what do you call understanding and then empathy. Like there's so many different layers of relating.
Right.
You can have sympathy, you can have empathy, you can understand, you can relate, you can surface level like, oh, I get it, but not really get it. Right? Or you can like, no, dude, I've been through that. I really get that.
You know, it's
or I have feel for that.
Yes,
you know,
it's universalisms, like some things that happen to everyone. Like, we all will face mortality at some point. Those are things that everyone can identify with.
Right.
Because everyone at some point will face that, and everyone knows. I know this. Everyone knows what it's like to lose someone in their life. That's
why a lot of songs are written.
And everyone. So everyone knows what love,
feels like.
Yeah. At least
that's why music is so diverse and why we can all relate to it.
Yeah. And that's why, just trying to take it with a new spin. Trying to, it's I was talking with my pal Eric several times. I had this conversation, but it's like, how do we say that thing in a way that hasn't been said before? And that's hard. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah. But context, culture, language, reference.
There's so
visuals,
many though. Yeah, so many ways now.
Visual art is wonderful. Like to express like a feeling and an emotion. I'm a big visual. I love art and being able to get into.
Can you tell I do? Yeah. This has been like a work of a creation over like so many years. Probably, I could even think back till I was making bulletin boards of collages. Yeah. So I know this is just a bigger version of a bulletin board that I made when I was like 20.
I walked in and I'll say, so first of all, I have like a lot of things when they're everywhere and just like immediately I'm like, and that's why. First of all, let me say this: Milestone is a great club, and go support shows at the Milestone. Go out there, check it out. It's fantastic. It's one of the oldest clubs in Charlotte.
Yeah,
it's great. However, for me personally, walking into the Milestone, the anxiety. Because it's just there's just something everywhere, and I'm like,
that's everything here has a place too.
Yeah, but when I walked in, I was like, this isn't bad. I don't feel like usually when there's like a lot of information just coming at you, it's just like Yeah. But, this it actually felt like, all right, there's some symmetry here. There's There's some ideas. There's some flow. And I appreciate your space, man. Thank you for having me in your space.
Hey, no, thank you very much for joining me. Yeah.
So
I've gotten that. People would say like it's there's a lot going on, but it's very organized.
Yeah, I feel.
And you'd be surprised that this is just yesterday I reorganized.
Yep.
I do it like I used to stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning rearranging my bedroom when I was like 11. So like this probably goes through a whole transformation every like couple weeks.
Wow.
Like not a whole new, but I'll like move stuff around. Like that became another type of space now.
Right.
And I'm about to vinyl floor to make it look like more like a barber shop.
I really love that old.
That's my original, man.
Yeah, I love that.
That's I'll listen to Poison and Def Leppard on that bitch. They got tape players, still works. Like,
yeah, that's what's up. AM, FM.
Yeah, my grandfather bought me that. I remember listening to Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, laying on the living room floor, just listening. Yeah, that old man, he's a real motherfucker, gonna kick him on down. Yeah. I didn't even know he was talking about heroin. I'm 11.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is that? We've been dancing with Mr. Brownstone.
You listen to that and you go like, man.
But it's so raw. Like, I would imagine these guys just down the street from my house, I'd have these visions. Like, I'm like, Guns N' Roses. What if they just pulled up in the back roads? And
this is in New York, right?
Motorcycles, yeah.
Because that's what they were. Wasn't,
they went to L.A.
But when they were first starting, they only had I think it was only one radio laid at like early in the morning was gonna give them a shot.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
There's a story I think Axl was talking about that they had this one. I think it was "Sweet Child of Mine" that they played one time on a radio station in New York at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, and my dad came home and told me about it. He was like, "You gotta listen to this band." That's what I'm telling you. He came home. Yeah. Like, you gotta listen to this band. He's like, they're called Guns N' Roses, and their song called "Sweet Child of Mine" is just amazing. I'm like, and this is me, like I'm like 10, 11, sharing this with my dad. You know, and he's telling me about this new band. Yeah.
And then they go on and they do what they do, and you know, you a Stones fan too?
My dad was. Yeah, I like him. I dig him. I think it's still going. That's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
You know, I posed this argument just because amongst
Aerosmith. I love Aerosmith.
Yeah. I'm a big Liv Tyler fan.
Yeah.
I mean, when I saw her on Lord of the Rings, I was like, oh my god, I want to marry that girl.
I was a big Carmen Electra fan.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I liked Carmen Electra. Steven Tyler's doing country now.
Yeah, good for him.
Dope. Yeah, oh man. Yeah. I was listening to him on like Sirius Radio, and he was talking about how he transitioned in there, and then how like he was like, you know, I'm kind of done with Aerosmith, and like it kind of became he got tired of doing the whole him and Joe Perry like kind of.
Right.
It's the typical thing, right? John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, they all do it. Like it's the lead singer and the freaking guitarist. They always go at it, you know, like So
I've been told that everyone has a Bon Jovi song. Everyone has a favorite.
Which one? I liked "Slippery When Wet," the album. So my favorite one was like, "Bad Medicine" when they came out with. Where are they from? New Jersey. That album. That was more my era. But what song? Bon Jovi. All I hear right now is "Living on a Prayer," but that's not on "Slippery When Wet." That was on. Damn it, they caught me. I can sing "Wanted Dead or Alive" real well. Karaoke. I love that song.
See, everyone knows. Maybe not everyone likes Bon Jovi. Everyone knows Bon Jovi. Just like everyone knows the Beatles and everything.
How about everyone? I don't even like Nickelback, but I promise you, I could probably sing 3 full songs.
Is this Photograph?
Photograph. Rockstar, and like. Tons of I could if it comes on the radio, I can sing all the lyrics. But I don't like the band. I don't know how it happened. I'm doing standing in line at clubs I'll never get in. Right? Like I know it all. Like they're talented. I just don't like them. But I can sing it. They got great marketing. Because like I hear
music business 101.
Yeah.
Music business 101.
I was Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. I went through that era.
Soundgarden.
Nirvana.
Great.
Right. Soundgarden, I love Soundgarden.
What about man? I love that we can just sit here and shoot the shit with.
That's what I'm saying,
music, man.
Yeah.
Of course, Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Didn't he do? But he was with Queens of the Stone Age for a minute, right? Didn't he guest appear on the album?
That I don't know.
Yeah, remember the Queens of Stone Age? Yeah, David Grohl, he guest appeared on that album. He played drums for them.
Foo Fighters.
Yeah, amazing band.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just talented, super artist.
I mean, of course, Nirvana, but...
Yeah.
But, like,
of course.
Yeah.
But, like, where would he have gone? Like, you think, if he never killed himself, or if he never passed away, would you think, what kind of band would they have been in? Would he have stayed in that band? I don't think it would have given David Grohl the room. That gave David Grohl the room to grow.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Like, no one ever will know that. That's a big what if situation. But yeah, no, it's to think about that stuff is.
I like Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Porno for Pyros. They were dope. Like, do that little
Chains.
skater era. Alice in Chains. Yeah. Who was that same era? Like, I saw Alice in Chains with their new singer.
Really?
And he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just this, like, tall, leather jacket kind of Asian guy. And he sings the notes, like, and he's still going, they still harmonize, like, you know, Alice in Chains, like, signature sound, right? They still harmonize like that, and that dude's amazing. Yeah, like, this was like 3 or 4 years ago, but I saw them.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
I love it when, so, I was going to say this, so there was there's this conversation that I like to post to my friends, and it's like, you know, everyone can get into, like, what Beatles this and Beatles, and I said, so comparing, are the Beatles the best band in the world? Because they toured for a little bit.
They stopped.
They quit.
Yeah, somebody was saying something about that.
And then, but you know, you had the Stones, man.
Yeah, they were that band.
Still out
still
there,
going,
man. Still shaking the booty for all those people.
I like solo ventures better than the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, I liked John Lennon and I liked a lot of the other when they went solo, Paul McCartney and yeah.
I do like Wings, man. I was a big Wings fan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Band on the Run, man.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, got it. I liked my dad introduced me to Jethro Tull.
Oh.
Totally cool band.
Yeah.
Chicago.
You know,
Boston.
I never got into those too much into like the big, like, I don't know if they were arena rock.
Like orchestra with guitars.
Boston, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah.
You know,
that was that era.
Yeah, I never really. I just like I think the '80s kind of.
It was like late '70s.
Late '70s, early '80s.
Well, it's kind of when rock music was going, and then there was some disco mixed. So they were kind of going a little softer on the rock, I think. I don't know.
Disco.
And I saw my first concert was Motley Crue, but Cheap Trick opened up for them. So I saw Cheap Trick and Motley Crue on Halloween night.
Wow.
Yeah, in like 1995.
That's cool. Yeah, man. That's you look at like, so all these bands that we've been talking about. The question earlier was like, what bands have influenced?
We're kind of just naming them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just throwing them out there.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't even gotten to like the country stuff, man. I'm a big country music lover. I love country music. Let it be known. I love it. And big Brad Paisley fan.
Okay.
Huge. A huge Brad Paisley fan.
All right.
Favorite. I model a lot of my guitar licks around like some of the stuff that he does and he says. And his melodic sense of timing is perfect for me. Like the way he does. He's not as chromatic as I would like.
What
times? Like in his line writing, he doesn't use a lot of too much dissonance, a lot of open and ringing notes, but I could use a little bit more chromaticism. Personally, Brad. No offense, man. I love you.
If you're watching, I know. Brad Paisley, sometimes he tunes in. You know,
Brad Paisley. If you're watching,
what's
man,
up, Tre07? Yeah. I just saw your show, and George was talking about my chromatics.
No, definitely. I'm not pulling one over you, man. I appreciate it. But you know, going back, Garth Brooks and George Strait. Oh man, George Strait.
I like the older. I like I don't know, like the more like raw, I guess I can listen to, but the new poppy like country music. I'm not a country music fan.
Yeah, so I will say this, like I'm about to again. My reference is Brad Paisley, just because of his guitar playing and the way that he was able to, the way he's still able to just pull out a line that's so just tasty and
Yeah.
like just.
I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah,
I'm not really.
And but going back, you listen to like the chicken picking of like Roy Vockhard or like Brent Mason, or you know, you listen to Albert Lee, or you listen, you know, you have this.
You have such an extensive library in your head, man.
They
used to call me iPod at work, but I'm like, I think you got me. Like, I swear, like I could just start singing off the top, but you're further in. Yeah,
I mean, I use because that's the culture of it, man. That's where it, you know, there's country music, the way that it started. You know, you listen to like, you know, you have, of course, the classic. You know, of course, that's gonna slip me now. Now you say it. Waylon Jennings, and you know, you had Hank Williams.
I was gonna say Hank Williams.
Yeah, this old like just.
Who's I don't know. I shot a man just to watch him die.
That's
Who's that?
That's Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Yeah, I like Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
One of the main reasons now I like Yellow Wolf, like the direction that he's going in.
Then
Some more of that.
Yeah, and all that, and like you had Chris Christopherson, and you know, so this is the songwriter. So these are my songwriting influences.
Yeah.
Because country music is good. Country music has a story that everyone can relate to, and I think it goes the same with like hip hop and R&B and rap,
right?
Rhythm and poetry, right?
Yeah.
There's
your audience that you can relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so country music, growing up in Arizona where I did, out in the hills, driving a 64 Ford F100, going out and grabbing my fishing pole and heading down to the river, right? Having
that sounds like a song right there.
Yeah, I have one. I'll play it if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
yeah.
I had my dog Bear, and you know, going down, hanging out with your friends, fishing all night.
Yeah.
You know,
We used to do the mud pits.
Yeah.
I grew up in Spring Hill, Florida, though, but it was kind of like my buddy of mine had a big 4x4 truck, and we go out in the pits and like kind of just hang out there.
Yeah.
That's about as redneck as I get.
Yeah, but it's what it was is just, you know, you're building these memories that you cherish with you forever and ever.
Yeah, we had so much fun.
Yeah, and I'd go out there and I'd take my guitar. So I've been playing guitar since I was like 5 years old. Dude.
You've been playing since you were 5. That's awesome. Yeah. I hope my son picks up on all these. He does. He comes out here and touches all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
who bought you your first guitar?
My dad.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad put it. I don't remember first learning. I just remember playing.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Do you have a first like riff or song that you started?
I do. I'm gonna actually show you guys.
Get it. I'm gonna move the angle here because we're gonna get into the quiz show after that. Yeah. And usually we'll take a break. Actually, let's take a break and I'll move the camera angle.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Mo, no doubt. Just go ahead and obviously Mo's not on his way. It doesn't matter because we do like what I do like. We're kind of free flowing. I love the way it goes. We're going to go ahead and take a break and come back. George is going to play for us, and then we're going to get on the quiz show. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in a minute.